She's walked in 97 breast cancer events. You can do it at least once. And that's what our next guests have decided they could do it at least once. Leah Matheson and Lisa Lowe are joining me. They are the newest members of Team Fellowship. They completed their first walk just this weekend in Philadelphia. And Leah walked with her mom, Mary, and Lisa and Leah have been best friends since they were little girls. So tell me, what motivated you, Leah, what prompted you to get involved in it this year?
Well, for the past 2 years, my mom has walked, and my sister-in-law has also walked in the walk, and Lisa and I decided basically at the same time this year that we really wanted to do it. We both knew someone who passed away this year from breast cancer. It was a really close friend of Lisa's and her mother's, and I actually work with her daughter. So,
and I taught with her. She taught with my mom. So, along with my school where I teach, my principal, and the whole community, the students, the staff, the parents, everybody was really supportive of it. And we both were saying it's good in honor of someone that we knew close to our hearts. So.
Now you mentioned a school. You want to give a shout out to your kids?
Yes, Makeville Elementary School. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for everything.
That's great. Now, what did you think of it? You know, you'd never done it before. You had no idea what to expect. So was there anything that was a surprise to you, or is it pretty much like it had been described?
I knew it was going to be emotional. The natural high that you get off of it was just unbelievable. Like, I just felt like words couldn't describe it. And it just, personally, you felt proud, but to see everyone in the community that comes out on their own just to support you, it's just an awesome feeling that so many people are there for the same goal.
I think we had that same reaction after our first time, when you would be walking down the streets and people and shopkeepers and friends and family and perfect strangers would be out, and they'd be handing you, candy or a popsicle or ice cream, whatever, to help you move along. I mean, you just didn't realize that you had that many people there to help. Now, we talked a little bit earlier with some the team members, and they said it was physically challenging. Did you think that it was it as hard as you thought it was going to be?
I think it was definitely hard physically, but I was expecting blisters and sore muscles, and I actually have a problem with my shin, which led to a problem in my hip, which led to a problem in my ankle. So it was definitely demanding physically, but in places that I never imagined. And I thought that I would have blisters and
well, now you're at one with your body. See, the older ones didn't want to tell you.
My body and I, we're well acquainted, and my shoes are in the trash, and I just need a couple days to just not walk around.
But the most pressing question is, was it worth it?
Aches, without a doubt,
bruises,
100%,
blisters,
yes.
lost toenails. Would you do it again?
As I was hobbling along the road, two nice ladies walked up behind me and were asking if I was okay, if I was going to make it to the finish. And I said, you know what? I'm in so much pain, but it could be worse. And they said, that's exactly right, and that's why we do it, because it could be worse.
And Lisa?
And I think that when you think about the pain that the people go through, family or themselves, a blister is in no comparison. So you get over it, and it's worth it.
Janae said you can start training tomorrow. I'll sign you up. We'll do it again. All right.
Next week.
Leah Matheson and Lisa Lowe, thanks very much. That's it for this half hour of It's Your Call. If you missed any of our coverage, look for us on demand on Comcast or check out our website at cn8.tv.
My mom, who died 25 years ago.
I'm walking in memory of my grandmother. I am walking for my mother, who just passed away last November.
I'm walking to fight breast cancer. My wife passed away 2 years ago.
I walk with my wife. She's a 3-year survivor.
I think I'm walking primarily for my daughters.
You're watching It's Your Call with Lynn Doyle. Bless the sisterhood!
Blessed is right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for this special edition of It's Your Call. In this half hour, we are going to introduce you to some of the walkers of the recent 3-day walk in Philadelphia for breast cancer. Among them, me and my team, Team Fellowship. Had a great 3 days with them. I hope if you were there that you came out and said hello. If you'd like to say hello now, it's a good time to do it. Telephone lines are open. You can give us a call. You can email us, or you can take our web poll at cn8.tv. Let's check in and see what you're telling us about how you've been affected by breast cancer. These numbers are surprising. Look at this. 29% of you say that you yourself have been affected by it, that you are a survivor or dealing with it right now. 71% say a family, a friend, someone close to you, but no one who has responded to our poll tonight, no one says that they have been unscathed by it. Those numbers right there are amazing. It's a non-scientific survey, but another way that you can tell us what you think. I'm going to go to the telephone lines and give you a chance to talk to us because we want to hear from you. We want to know if you have, in fact, been touched by breast cancer, and particularly if you were able to be a part of one of these 3-day walking events. Our first call is brought to us by Comcast Digital Voice, and it comes from Trish. Hey, Trish, how are you?
Hi, good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Are you a walker?
I was a crew member for the second year, and I'm also a survivor.
Oh, well, that's good news to hear. And let me say right now, a big shout out to all of you crew members because we could not have done it without you.
Oh, thank you so much. It was awesome. It was a terrific event.
Tell me about your experience as a member of the crew.
Oh, we worked with the best people, the most dedicated people. I was on the medical crew as an administrative person, and we just had really amazing people who volunteered, doctors, nurses, EMTs, physical therapists, trainers, and I'm seeing a lot of people on TV that we treated. It's amazing.
And I bet they are glad that you were there to treat them because I'll tell you, without the medical staff in particular, a lot of people just wouldn't have been able to take a step further. Why do you do this? Why do you want to be involved?
Oh, I need to raise money so no one else has to go through what I went through.
All right. Is your prognosis good, Trish?
I'm sorry?
Is your prognosis good?
Yeah, I'm doing terrific. I have friends who are going through treatment right now, and it's just tough to see somebody else go through what you went through.
All right. Well, thanks for doing your part. We certainly appreciate it.
Thanks for doing so much for it.
Okay. And while we're giving a big shout out, I have to give a big super shout out to the medical crew at pit stop number 3. They provided me with ice that I put on pretty much every part of my body. So thank you very much. That was able to, that enabled me to just keep on trucking there. So we appreciate it very much. Thanks a lot. And we also appreciate the presence of our next guest, an old friend of our show, Dr. Rob Danoff, who is our CNA medical correspondent. He is also a frequent medical volunteer for the breast cancer 3-day. Thanks so much for being here.
To be here.
It seems like I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know, but when I looked at your feet before, I couldn't tell that they've been through 60 miles. They look new.
Believe me, they don't feel so new. But it's part of the training that it enables you to actually get through this unscathed. How important is training to those people who are perhaps interested in walking in a 3-day?
Well, it's huge. And you and your team started, months before, many months actually. And if you just start right off the bat without training, you're going to have a lot of injuries. But the people who do well do it most of the year. They walk, they keep in shape, and then they really enjoy it. They enjoy it a lot, and that's the key. Just try to keep in shape throughout.
Now, there is a training schedule that the 3 days suggest. Yeah. One is a 24-week schedule, one is a 16-week. I don't want to scare people off by letting them hear those weeks and say, oh my gosh, I don't have 4 months to commit. So realistically, how much training does a person have to do to get through this?
I think the shorter time frame, 16 weeks for most people who are sort of in good shape, who walk a fair amount, is good. And most people it's doable. This year, a couple of my patients walked in this, and one of them just trained for 2 weeks. That's it. She goes, I walk all day. But actually, she did okay. And thank goodness it wasn't too hot. But for most of us, we would really need, I think, the 16 weeks.
So according to the schedule, they're talking about walking maybe every other day, 3, 4, 5 miles, and building up over a course of time. What we found in our training is when you do those back-to-back long walks, 10, 12, 14 miles back-to-back, it gives your muscles memory, and that helps you get through it. Explain muscle memory and the concept there.
Well, and that's the huge key, because people who went on the walk, the first day it's fine, you can do it. But then the memory's not in there, so the muscles are very sore. They're not getting back to their normal shape so they can do flex and extend. It's the second day where they get really sore, and the third day it's like a brick. But if you build it up and do the way the training, your muscles then go back to normal. You wake up and say, oh, okay, I'm okay. And then it's able to carry on their function again without becoming like deprived of oxygen.
Boy, I have to tell you, we saw some people and they were in agony. And when we asked, had you trained, the answer was no. So the key to getting through this is actually to put in at least some of the training. All right, if you have questions or comments for Dr. Rob, or you want to know anything about these 3 days or breast cancer, telephone lines are open. I'm going to return to the calls in just a second, but I want to introduce you to another member of Team Fellowship. Becky Fishman completed her second 3-day walk this weekend, and she was the newest member to our team. She was actually